to take the title today. First up we have for you quarter-final in action, Niels Fyen versus Petri Mackinnon. And after this match, we'll bring you another quarter-final, which will be Mark Bijsterbosch versus David Al-Kaidi. Matches are taking place on 2 tables today. On the other table, Elliott Sanderson, who defeated FSR last night, will take on Duong Quoc Hoang. That match is available to view on the Billiard Tube YouTube channel. As referee Brian Moss asked the players to come forward for the lag. And Niels Fyen will get this quarter-final underway. It's a race to 10. And an immediate scratch into the centre pocket from Niels. Didn't hit that as intended. He was practicing his break quite a lot before the start of the match and was struggling a little bit.
Hello anh em, mọi người vào chưa? Chào bạn. Mọi người có gì mọi người follow kênh mới giúp mình nhé. Ở giải cốt tích sau mình sẽ like trên kênh mới, mình không like kênh này nữa. Kênh này bị YouTube họ đánh gậy rồi. Ok, chào mọi người. Đối này hôm qua xem bắn chắc chắn phết đấy. Lại ra đuôi. Lại bắt anh Hoàng nhảy rồi. Mà nhảy con này không ăn được. Con này chỉ có nhảy cân thôi. Hết má vào lỗ 10 kia rồi phải đúng không anh em? Nhìn như là hết má rồi đấy. À vẫn còn kìa. Ra đuôi luôn kìa. Hay chưa? Đuôi luôn. Rồi à ba văng luôn. Rồi, không sao, con này vẫn phải a văng. Rồi, vẫn mắt C còng được. Năm này dựng một băng thôi. Ví dụ là lấy cái mã 7 để đánh 8 là hết. Một không cho Elliott rồi. Không sao, mới khởi đầu thôi. Neo Fizen cũng đang để thua 0-1. À, hôm nay có trọng tài Sebi à? Đến vòng này thì phải có trọng tài Sebi thôi chứ. Nhìn hôm qua hai ông Sebi vất vả quá. Hôm qua đặc biệt ván cuối thay cả phin. Xong cuối cùng phải gọi anh Hoàng vào Sebi mới xong. Thay bi luôn. Tất nhiên phải thay ngay từ đầu chứ. Bây giờ mới thay. Nào xem đối phá như thế nào nào. Không chết bi nào. Một vẫn chơi được. Một này chơi được. Chơi chơi được nhưng mà tính đường ra còn 2. 2 còn mỗi lỗ 10. Đường 26 cũng được, ghép 26 cũng được. Ui, đuôi 7 không? Anh Hoàng điều hay quá nhỉ. Hay quá anh em ơi. Con này chắc điều 3 tít xa thôi. Ba tít xa lỗ 10 cũng được. Lỗ 10 vẫn còn. Anh Hoàng điều lỗ 10 rồi. Bộ nổ tít ra đánh 5. Con này đẩy lên đánh 5 đường xa thôi. Xong con 5 này là hết bàn rồi đấy. Ui. Ui anh ơi, gậy mới chưa quen. Gậy mới chưa quen mọi người thông cảm nhé. Đây gậy mới chưa quen. Điều còn 5 chi tiết đến vậy rồi. Trời ơi.
Good morning, Vietnam and the rest of the world.
Sao lại
It's
good
a
morning
sunny
Việt
nice
Nam?
morning here in
Good
Finland,
afternoon nhỉ? Good
Helsinki.
morning.
My name is Markus Juva, and I welcome you all to watch the last 8 quarterfinal match between Elliott Sanderson from Great Britain and Duong Quoc Hoang from Vietnam. We had some last minute difficulties
Họ rất ưu ái
on some
luồng của Việt Nam luôn
stream,
đấy
but
mọi người ạ.
now it seems that everything is working fine. Game has started and Elliott won the first rack. And a bit surprising miss from
À
Hoang.
đây rồi.
With the 5 ball or was it the 4?
Vừa nói ưu ái xong, đối cũng ưu ái luôn này.
But just when I said
Mấy khoản
that,
này cắt với anh Hoàng đơn giản rồi.
surprising,
Anh ngắm lại giúp em cái.
I'd say hasty
Ok anh.
mistake from Elliott with the brown 7.
Những quả này với anh Hoàng thì đơn giản rồi. Không có gì khó cả.
We're in billiard 24/7 billiard club. It's not only a pool club, there is a
Mình xem anh Hoàng
tables,
mấy quả
carrot
chém như này đơn giản lắm.
tables, and even a Finnish Kaisa table.
Nào, anh tính lỗ nào.
And
Lỗ nào về chín đẹp anh.
8 ball table, which actually at this particular moment is not here, but normally we have all the disciplines to be practiced. And
Trời,
for
giữa
some
lỗ.
pool also, it's possible to
Công nhận,
practice
ưu ái thật.
as much
as you ever can in an
Kể cả
event.
bên nhà thi đấu lẫn bên đối thủ này nữa.
Also, the participants of this tournament have been able to utilize that possibility, so they have been able
Một
to
đều.
practice. If they have a jet lag, if they are awake at 4 o'clock in the night, they can just come and practice. So
Neo Fizen dẫn 2-1 rồi đấy.
special tournament. We have a free players lounge with a nice sandwich buffet and refreshments and diamond tables to practice with. And now everything has gone quite smoothly. Some little hiccups with the stream at times, but the players have been satisfied and happy, at least to the environment, not always to their own game or shots or luck. But 8 players remaining. And this
Hôm
is
nay là
the
xong giải này. Xong giải này thì 30 tháng 4, 30 tháng 4 đến mùng 4 tháng 5 là chúng ta sẽ xem giải Quoc Hoang Open với xem Nguyễn Anh Tuấn với Federer. Quoc Hoang xong thì chúng ta xem UK Open luôn. Còn giải Morocco thì không biết là anh Hoàng tham gia hay không.
Which is the main TV table of the house and of the tournament, and then there will be remaining matches.
Anh Hoàng đổi góc phá rồi mọi người ạ. Hôm qua anh Hoàng phá góc này chết cái này. Để xem hôm nay thế nào.
Yeah, so Elliott from Albania is playing against Jonas Souto-Comino from Spain. They will
Con
start
9.
at approximately
Next xíu rồi.
1 o'clock.
Ok, không chết cái là được rồi anh em ơi.
We'll start
Pin của giải này nó hơi dày. Phá cái nhìn cái pin nó lệch hẳn ra luôn.
From Spain. And for the future reference,
con 2 này với 3 khó nhá.
Which is the free stream table will be, at least according to the information I have now, will be Elliott against Jonas Souto-Comino.
Đi được vòng qua con 5 kia.
Match on the VNT TV table, WNT TV table will be Mark Bisterbosch and David Alcade. But now let's get back into this game.
Anh Hoàng quyết định nhìn thấy mặt thôi. Nhìn thấy mặt con 3 là được rồi.
Soft backspin.
Con 2 với 3 khó. Xử lý được con 3 này là xong này. Hầu như là bàn thoáng này. 3 với 4 đẹp nữa.
So these kind of long pots, though always bit challenging, are part of his resume for sure.
Ok rồi anh em ơi. Đến đây là ok rồi đấy. Không vấn đề gì nữa đâu. 5-6 cỡ lỗ rồi.
Stream, but I might have to, if she gets too excited, I might have to take her upstairs.
5-6 cỡ lỗ cho nên không sợ. Đánh 7-1 băng ra thôi. Hơi bị nhẹ lực quá mất rồi. Con này thì lại phải nhìn lại. Lần này đánh 9 thì lại phải đánh 9 đường xa rồi.
Special guest in the room, but let's see first what will happen with the Hoang's bit tester. Yes, it was not easy shot. Would have expected him to make it though, but it's common that
Bị nhẹ lực cái là cổ ngay.
first tracks are often bit more shaky, bit more nerves testing.
Con 9 nắc đi.
After when the
9 bi
players
đơn.
get into the
Bi
gear.
đơn nắc được không? Khó đấy.
So Elliott takes the
2-1.
second point and third track. Okay, we have a Vietnamese guest here in the room. Can you please introduce yourself?
Nếu Fizen với P9 Mccolen hiện đang hòa 2-2 rồi. Ông Elliott Sanderson này hiện đang hạng
Hello.
63 thì phải, 63 hay 67.
Xin chào mọi người. Không biết mọi người nghe thấy mình
Ông
nhỉ?
này
Nếu
vừa
mọi
thắng
người
Rui
nghe thấy
ngày
mình
hôm
thì mọi
qua
người
đấy.
cho mình hai chữ Việt
Đối
Nam
mạnh
bên khung
phết đấy.
chat nhé.
No.
Alo. Alo, xin chào mọi người. Có một số trục trặc về mic nhưng mà bây giờ mình đã có thể nói rồi. Thì chào mọi người, mình là An. Hôm qua mình đã được có cơ hội có một số lời cho anh Hoàng trong giải Singapore Open này rồi. Thì hôm nay mình lại tiếp tục đến để cùng với anh Hoàng và mình lại được mời vào trong phòng bình luận để mà có thêm những lời động viên cho anh Hoàng. Thì như mọi người có thể thấy thì anh Hoàng bây giờ đang thua với tỷ số là 2-1 trước Elliott Sanderson. Nhưng mà cơ hội chặng đường vẫn còn rất là dài khi chúng mình đánh đến chạm 10. Vậy nên là mọi người hãy cùng chat vào trong khung chat hai chữ Việt Nam để cổ vũ cho anh Hoàng nhé.
Okay, thank you. So for a moment we have a Vietnamese guest in the room, so if you want to send some questions in Vietnamese, you can do that.
Con hãy
I
hòa nhảy
already
thôi.
understand
Nhảy
it,
anh
but
Hoàng với
he
con này
will
thì đơn giản
translate.
rồi.
But he's not. He wanted to underline that he's not a professional player. He's a guest and a nice fellow and knows the language, but he's not a professional player. So if you want questions about the
Giờ
depths
đá con 3
of the
đi
game,
cái
you have to
dúi
learn
vào
to
trong
ask
con 5 được không anh em?
English. I might be able to help.
Cũng khó nhỉ. Để dúi con 5 con cái vào khó.
My name is Markus Juva. I'm reading the chat. Also, there's so much messages, so I might miss part of it, but I'm here trying to
Okay.
follow that. Also, of course, when there's so many
Con 3 có đường riêng.
messages, so then I should also watch a little bit of the match. So
3 ra 4 khó nhỉ.
Elliott has a
Giữ
long
cái lại ngay đấy thì khéo lại đuôi.
It's makeable. The four ball is
Xem đối tính thế nào.
five ball is a bit trickier. It's open to the upper right corner, and there is a combination possibility with the 5-6, but that's not
Okay.
trading. So
Có đường riêng.
I would assume that
8
the
không
players
chặn.
want to get on the left side.
Má về 4 đẹp luôn.
Orange 5, except maybe
Lấy má để
now
đánh con 5 thôi.
the four ball went
Con 5
into a
thì như con
position
6 nó chặn
where
đường rồi
it's
thì phải đánh
difficult.
cùng lỗ 4.
It's most likely gonna be difficult to play to the left side of the 5. But the thing with the combination is that as there is an angle, it's so much more harder to control the 5. It's much harder to make the 6 ball, but
Con 5 có
especially
đường không?
it's gonna be hard to
Anh Hoàng nhìn
control
nhanh
the
này
5.
chắc là định ghép à?
Hoang has such a pure, gentle touch with the cue ball, so he might go for the combination, but also he might have an angle just to draw. Yeah, he has an angle to draw.
Kéo về.
This was an excellent shot.
Như thế con 5 hết đường rồi.
Very
Nên
nice.
5-6 này thì không có gì nữa rồi. 5-6-7. Giờ anh Hoàng điều thôi.
So in a minute or so,
Không rén
all
được
should
như
be
lúc này là
able
ok.
to level up the game. There is no testers this time, but of course you have to keep your focus. And I
7v8
only
có rén tí
prize
lực cũng
focus
không
on the
sao này.
ball, so sloppy mistakes would be devastating at this point.
Ok rồi đấy anh em ạ.
Seeing it happen.
Vậy mới chưa quen. Trô về hơi quá tí lực, không sao hết.
Shouldn't have no problems with the 9. And it's 2-2.
Hai đều.
You don't have to keep it, just one. Testing. Testing.
Chúng ta tiếp tục đến với cú phá của anh Hoàng. Lần này anh Hoàng lại đổi vị trí rồi. Ông đặt sát bốc nữa rồi.
Se voi olla, mä en itse asiassa ole varma, mutta mä luulen, että ei mene, koska se mit pelataan samaan aikaan. Niin silloinhan se tarkoittaa käytännössä sitä, että vain yksi peli pelataan siellä VNT-pöydällä ja toinen peli tässä, eli 98.
May là không chơi bếp đấy.
Sanotaan eilisen informaation
Phá
perusteella
bị tạch phát.
ei mene toinen semi maksumuurin taakse, mutta jos sieltä on tullut jotain uutta tietoa, niin sitä mä en ole vielä ainakaan kuullut. Juho Ronkainen
Xem anh Hoàng đánh an toàn ra đâu.
näkee tuolta kaksois VNT TV, mutta se on maksullinen.
Mọi người cứ để ý là anh Hoàng hay đổi cái góc phá. Anh Hoàng là chưa kiểu phá, chưa tìm được cái vị trí phá ổn định ấy.
Jos on Matchroom se joku tilaus ollut voimassa, se aikaisempi, niin se on vissiin 5 € kuussa sitten. Eli sinällään edullinen, mutta tietysti kaikkien muiden kuukausimaksujen seassa, niin olisi se aina tietysti mukavampi vaan klikata ja se on ilmaiseksi, mutta sieltä näkee Petun pelin ja sieltä näkee myös sitten toisen semifinaalin myöhemmin ja sieltä näkee finaalin. Ja todennäköisesti tosiaan se toinen semifinaali näkyy tältä kanavalta ilmaiseksi. Kine NQ, it's a alternate break, so no winner break.
Con này chém dựng về 3 được này.
I will speak in English mostly, but there's also Finnish people, so asking in Finnish, so I might answer some of the stuff in Finnish, but mostly it will be in English. And I have the Vietnamese friends still here in the commentators box, so if you have questions in Vietnamese, he will try to follow, and he can then translate them also to me, or answer, of course, to you by himself if there is something he can help you with. Kiitos Kaima. Elliott manages to play quite perfectly to the 5, but it was a little bit risky. He went very near the 7 ball. I was a bit surprised of the choice what he had, but the result was good. There was not much room. He could have went also behind the 8. I'm not exactly sure of his
7 vẫn còn đường nốt
pattern
10 à?
play here. He plays quite fast. His nickname is Shouter. I don't know him that well. I have seen him a couple of times in the same tournament, and I have seen him in social media a little bit. I know he's a very capable player, but haven't really seen his game much. But seems that he's more, and also the
Mã
nickname
này thì chắc là
Shouter
đánh
little
8
bit
nốt tiết à?
indicates that he might be quite intensive player, like plays with lots of heart, lots of emotions, plays a bit faster than average, and likes to shoot shots without too much thinking
Ủa, kéo về thì
forward.
sao
So
nó hơi dở.
these two guys playing now are actually quite
Nhưng
opposite.
con này thì về 9 vẫn đơn giản rồi.
Hoang's strength is the Asian style, the Zen style, calmness,
3-2.
composure, and also a very methodical approach, very good pattern play. Don't let his emotions, don't let his nerves rise too much. He's not a shouter, I can say. So it's funny to see both styles. I like very much, but and I know that in West audience
Trận còn lại Macolen cũng đang dẫn 3-2.
prefers the emotional, the guy who shouts and plays with lots of emotions in his sleeve. But I must say that I also like very much the Asian style where you hold your nerve, you play. It's not. Some people say it's like a robot style, but I don't agree. Robot
17 giờ sẽ là trận Kachi với Solas Soto nhé. Và Mark Bitterbot với David Akade 17 giờ.
Under control. They don't let it like. They don't let the flame burn too high. They don't let the, nothing to interfere there. It's more calm and composed. Duong Quoc is saying just like Shaw. Yeah, he has similarities. Shaw is maybe, Shaw is of course more experienced, but they have similarities. I can see it also. And there's actually in Britain there's lots of like the players play with lots of heart, which is also they have very like entertaining.
Ok, không chết pin nào. Con 1 thì hết đường rồi.
Breaks seems that nothing went in. 9
Một
balls
hết
on
đường
the
rồi
table, but I assume that at least when checked from the monitor that the 1 ball is not on.
Cũng hết
That's
đường
how it
chém nó
seems
10 rồi.
also from this angle.
Để mình Hoàng đánh an toàn ra đâu.
We might see a push out here. Most likely do, but also what matters is that the 2 ball is not in a good position. It's very much bankable when the angle is good, but both the combinations are of course
Điều
the
cho
7
đối
is
chém.
way too that's out of the question, but the 3 ball combination is in the right
Không, họ thủ cơ.
placing with the cue ball is possible, but the 2 ball won't be staying
Lực
exactly
rất tốt
in
luôn.
the pocket.
Anh Hoàng nhảy cân nỗ tít luôn.
Yesterday Hoang had a two jump shots in a row, very purely, very cleanly executed against Siekkinen. And this time also he played behind the 6. Was a bit unfortunate if the one ball came leaked.
Đây là con đường không nhỉ?
There was so much space to have it.
Nhìn đối nắc đầu kia hình như là mất má rồi phải.
From this angle it seems.
Ê, nhìn cái cam lồi góc rộng của bên giải này
Elliott also checked
khó chịu thật đấy.
with the 2, so he draws, elevates the cue bit, tries to draw the cue ball to the center of the
Lắc
table.
lắc kia là được hay không?
Higher to the angle where he can bank the 2.
À được kìa.
Stroke it well, even a bit too well, so it means that he went
Giờ
too
con 2 tính thế
far.
nào?
But he's fortunate actually because he's not jacked up with the 6 and he can avoid the double kiss if he cross banks the 2 on the side. He just loses the cue ball a little bit down table. Should be able to avoid the scratch, should be able to avoid the contact with the 8, draws the ball a bit. Okay, gets a contact with the 5,
Ui, hay.
which actually
Hay
works
quá.
otherwise well, but now he's a little bit hampered with the 5,
Hay
so
quá anh
he
em
has
ạ.
to check up, which always makes the shot harder. But he should be fine. He has a angle. He doesn't have to draw now.
Ông này tay mồ hôi
He can
nhiều.
play it from one cushion again to the middle
Hôm qua
of the
xem cứ
table.
đánh xong một con là lại ra lau, đánh xong một con lại ra lau.
If he would get on the left side of the table, that would be very good. He could just draw the ball, but from that angle, he didn't want to take risks with colliding with the 6. So this is good. Now he has to negotiate with the 7 ball, but he probably goes 3 rails, top right spin, so he doesn't have to mind. Yeah, he doesn't have to mind the 7. He has to mind the
Đây rồi,
6,
đây rồi anh em ơi.
the 9, and of course not to miss, which he forgot here because the cue ball was quite.
Đây rồi chứ đâu nữa.
Now let's see. Huang made some very interesting, very nice shots yesterday against Arseni Sevastianov in a double hill 9-9 situation. He has a little bit different style of shooting some shots than most, or at least most Westerners. Asians are also more used to play with
Cái má sao mà anh Hoàng nắc đầu rồi kia.
cues. Also, Hoang's cue is a solid wood cue. He has a cue. It's very nice cue. He let me try it for few shots. Really enjoyed the touch, but he prefers the center
Con
ball
9 cả thế cũng đẹp.
shots. He likes to play the angles with center ball. So for example, now I would assume that he plays, okay, he started to draw it, but he might go 3 rails like
Đẹp nhưng giờ lại ra điều ra 7 nó lại hơi vất.
Then back to this rail here, the down lower short rail, and go to the 7. So 7 comes lower right corner. He has to avoid the scratching on the side. That's what he does.
Nào, ra 7 đẹp được không?
Yeah, and he avoids the scratching on the side.
Trời ơi.
Plays it very nicely.
Gậy mới có khác.
Exactly like I said he would.
Điều quả hay thế.
And very similarly as he played yesterday. It was a very different shot that he did yesterday. You can find it. It was table 6 against Arseni Sevastianov, hill 9-9. But that was very different shot. But same idea that no side spin,
9
no
cũng 10.
throwing the ball, just send the ball sharp hit and nice angles. It might be
3 đều.
due to the fact that in Vietnam there is lots of 3 cushion billiards, I've understood. So these kind of shots are
Đội này tặng anh Hoàng 2 phát rồi.
more common for Vietnamese.
Ôi. Macolen thắng 5-2 rồi này. Nào, giờ xem anh Hoàng phá đâu nào.
Xin chào bạn. Thì như bạn
Nãy
thấy
đẩy về
thì
sát
anh Hoàng
break
vừa
box
có
thì
một
bị ấy rồi, bị
hoạt
lỗi
động
rồi,
quá kinh
tackle
khủng
rồi.
với những cú điều bi gọi là như đặt. Thì bây giờ tỷ số đang là 3 đều cho Sanderson và anh Hoàng. Thì Sanderson đã giành được 3 rách phá của anh Hoàng, nhưng anh Hoàng ngược lại cũng đã thắng được 3 rách mà Sanderson được quyền đề pa. Và như mọi người có thể thấy thì ở trận thi đấu hôm nay thì có vẻ như là các cú phá của Elliott Sanderson chưa thực sự được tốt lắm, và gần như là mình thấy là chưa lần nào ép được B1 về lỗ giữa. Vậy nên là hy vọng là anh Hoàng sẽ thực hiện thật tốt những cú phá mình và ra như cú phá tiếp theo này ra những hình thật đẹp, và sau đó thì sẽ tiếp tục lấy được những ván phá của Sanderson để giành quyền để giành chiến thắng. Anh Hoàng cũng đang rất bay trong trận đấu này, tuy rằng có một số lỗi.
Con này chắc chém nỗ 10 thôi anh em ạ. Chém nỗ 10 thì ra 3 đẹp hơn. Chém nỗ tít thì con cái nó lại đi hơi vòng vòng. Nào, xem anh Hoàng tính kiểu gì. Chém nỗ tít rồi.
Cập nhật một chút cho các bạn ở trận thi đấu còn lại thì tay cơ của nước chủ nhà Petri Makonnen đang dẫn trước kẻ hủy diệt Neos Fajan với tỷ số là 5-2. Quay về trận đấu này thì
Thiếu một
có
xíu
vẻ
lực nữa
như
thì đẹp.
là hình ra đang là ổn dành cho anh Hoàng, và hy vọng là anh Hoàng sẽ thực hiện những pha điều cơ thực sự chính xác để có thể giành chiến thắng trong break thi đấu lần này.
Junnu Pakka asking about
Với
do
anh
you know
Hoàng
why
mà thêm một
Elliott
xíu lực nữa
represents
thì
UK,
điều 4 đẹp hơn.
England or Scotland or wherever he exactly lives.
Không sao,
I
mấy
don't
con này
know,
vẫn
it's
xử
a
lý được,
mystery
vẫn
to
sửa
me
được.
that why are they able to sometimes play with UK, sometimes with Great Britain. UK, of course, meaning United Kingdom. And what is the difference? There is some difference. I think Great Britain is the, if I recall correctly, is the England, Scotland, Wales, and then UK is United Kingdom is when the North Ireland comes.
Đến đây là ok hết rồi đấy anh em ạ. Không còn gì để
I
nói
don't
nữa
know
rồi.
why they sometimes represent that and sometimes they represent their own flags as England and Scotland and Wales, etc. I don't
Em
know.
sang
Why.
đánh 7 lỗ 10.
I think it's a bit funny because I think it's a bit unfair, you know. They can sometimes probably have advantage when they get their spots into games like that. A bit like Finns would get spots through Nordic, Nordic states, Nordic countries. So sometimes when Norway doesn't go, then hey, Finland can have two because we are Nordic countries. So, but it's something which I haven't. I have once, twice Googled it out of curiosity, but it's many years ago, so I don't remember now how it goes.
Ok, anh Hoàng vươn lên được rồi. Không phải bám đuổi nữa rồi. 4-3. Như thế anh Hoàng chắc là sẽ đổi
Như
luôn
vậy là
sang
anh
góc
Hoàng đã
phá này.
giành chiến thắng trong break đấu thứ 7 với bây giờ hiện tại tỷ số là 4-3. Và mọi người hãy nhớ rằng là nếu mọi người có câu hỏi gì dành cho bình luận viên cũng như là cho mình thì mình có thể giúp chuyển lời đến bình luận viên, và cũng có thể là giúp dịch câu trả lời bình luận viên đến các bạn, cho nên là hãy tích cực tham gia bình luận trên khung chat một cách văn minh và lịch sự, cho đúng theo đúng phong cách người Việt Nam các bạn nhé. Xin các bạn các hai chữ Việt Nam lên khung chat ạ.
So, how big is pool billiards in Vietnam? How big name? Let's say, for example, Hoang now. Is he like a celebrity in Vietnam?
Yeah, I think you can say that. Not as much a celebrity as you mean in like movies or something, but definitely with the win last time from the Scottish Open, I think that Hoàng has achieved some kind of fame in at least in the sports scene in Vietnam.
Yeah, nice to hear. What about, are the matches, let's say Hanoi Open, for example, does it come from the television, like national television, or is it like a stream through YouTube, or how is it like? Is it coming from TV?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about it being on the national television, but obviously it attracts a lot of attention from billiards lover like me, and you can see that exactly in the atmosphere from the audience and the crowd, like all the matches that you got Jason Shaw or Francisco Sanchez that they're playing, like the crowd go insane with each of the ball potted.
Yeah, I have been to Philippines many times, and there you can see, or at least I was there first time year 1999, and Efren Reyes had just won the World Championships, which was the first Matchroom World Championships ever held, and billiards was everywhere. Like every day you could see billiards from the TV. There was even this, for example, this Earl Strickland Efren Reyes challenge match, which was called Color of Money, where they played Race to 120. That was played 1996, but still 4 years later, it was like all the time you could see it from national TV. And I think even, I don't of course know all the channels, like which one is a national and which one is more international, but the big channels, not only like the local channels, but big national channels. I haven't been to Philippines. Actually miss Asia a lot. I haven't been to Far East Asia for more than 10 years now, but I used to go there a lot when I was more active with my own career. And also in Taiwan I was, and there the same thing, that there was so much fans when the Fong Pang Chao and Jin Junyang and these players were playing. There was like hundreds, maybe thousands of fans. They couldn't fit, not everyone could fit to the venue. Like the venue was a big hall, but still there was outside, like there was a screen outside, so rest of the people were able to watch it from there. And the same in Philippines, when the tournaments have been held in the shopping malls, and there has been like an open area, and 2-3 floors on top of that, there has been thousands of viewers, maybe not thousands, but let's say 2-3 thousand of viewers to watch, especially Efren's matches then. Okay, let's go back to the game. There was some nice shooting actually, both guys, and it's going neck to neck, 4-4 now. Both guys are shooting well. Can you translate? There is this Wu Hai is asking this.
He's just talking about he just like mentioned what you are mentioning
Okay.
fact that whereas have the billiard scene in Philippines to move forward very fast, very quickly
Yeah.
in the 90s.
And who is the second best player in if Hoang is the best at the moment, who is the number 2 ranked player in Vietnam?
Bình luận viên bên cạnh mình, người Phần Lan đang hỏi mình là nếu như người Việt Nam chúng mình coi anh Hoàng là người hay nhất bia Việt Nam hiện tại, thì ai sẽ là người hay thứ hai ở Việt Nam hiện tại? Vậy nên thì mình thì có ý kiến riêng của mình, nhưng mà mình sẽ để cho anh em ở trong khung chat trả lời giúp bình luận viên xem là với anh em thì ai là tay cơ có thể nói là đứng thứ hai sau anh Hoàng ở nền bia Việt Nam hiện tại. Về ý kiến cá nhân của mình thì quan sát các tay cơ thì mình thấy là anh Lương Đức Thiện cũng đã có một cái quá trình quá trình phát triển và phấn đấu bản thân, và mình nghĩ là cũng đang trở thành một trong những tay cờ rất là đáng chú ý trên nền bia Việt Nam cũng như là thế giới. Nhưng mà không biết là với các bạn thì ý kiến các bạn như nào? You can see that a lot of I ask your question for the audience to answer, and you can see there are many names, but one name that keeps appear a lot is Thiện Lương. Yeah, so that is my also like the player that I think is now number 2 in Vietnam.
Yes, thank you. And is Tien Lung, is he also traveling like internationally now?
Yes, I think so. I think that we have seen him in the European Championship, and I think he's like he got into quite final rounds in like 132 or
Yeah.
16 rounds.
And there's actually also another name which I recall, or which I can recognize, is Dang. In English, we have it like Du Te Kien,
Yeah.
Dang Te Kien, or
Yeah,
something. Du
so
Te
Dang
Kien.
Thanh Kiên is actually one another very famous player in Vietnam, and in Vietnam we call it Teacher Kiên.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Surprising miss from Hoang here. This is we have entered the middle stage of the match. This is like where of course all the racks are equally important when it comes to a point being equally, but it doesn't matter if you win first 10 or last 10 matches in race to 10, but often players have that their focus a little bit shifts. The beginning might be nervy, then they might relax, then they might get a little bit like too relaxed, make 2 or 3 mistakes before they like regroup themselves again. So of course it's important to stay focused from the beginning to the middle to the end, but often there can be seen like the shifts in momentums, but also the shifts, I don't know, is it about some biorhythm or what, but sometimes the focus goes in waves that you might experience many different emotions and many different types of focus waves in the heated or nerve match. For example, I played Ralph Suke. We have played a lot in the 2000s, and we haven't played in 15 years or so against each other, or 13 years or so against each other, and I was extremely nervous when it started. I thought that he's also nervous because I saw him when he practiced. He wasn't shooting well, and he was a bit like felt nervous. But when he saw, I would guess that when he saw that I was nervous, he was able to relax, and he played very, very well the whole match then. But if I would have been sharp in the beginning, probably he would have had
Đuôi đỏ thế nhỉ?
problems with his nerves.
Có ra đuôi không?
Then I was able to relax, but when I
Nhưng mà
relaxed,
nhìn nhanh nên không đuôi rồi.
made a nice 2 runouts and a third run out also, and took a timeout. So after the timeout, I was too relaxed and too sort of overconfident, and then my break shot, I failed with the break shot and scratched from 2
Thoát tim anh em ơi.
rails, and then sort of lost the momentum. So it's sometimes difficult to
Nào, con 7 này.
keep the focus and keep the nerves.
Con 7 này cẩn thận chi tiết anh ơi. Hôm nay cũng dính 2 con xa ra trượt rồi, lắc rồi.
Humility in the way that the focus is the thing what matters.
Cầm nhẹ con cái về, chỉ nổ tít là xong. Chắc ok rồi đấy. May thật.
So a missed bank shot from Elliott Sanderson gives the
Đối hôm này cũng
table
nỗi.
and the chance to Hoang, who goes from there to 5-4. You can see Elliott is a bit more of the emotional of these two, so you can see it in some of his shot selections, but also in his reactions. And you can maybe you could say that you can see that he's the more inexperienced of the two, which he is. But he must be. I said yesterday when people were asking of who's gonna win and who is the favorite to win, I mentioned Hoang maybe first, and Elliott is maybe the sort of least. Let's say if there was a betting odds, he would probably have had the highest odds already in the previous round, probably, or maybe not maybe like one of the 3 highest. But he must also be like one of the most hungriest. He's like the one who really wants to win, because he hasn't won yet these kind of
Hay.
tournaments.
Con 8 nó che
He
đường rồi.
showed the world that he is also capable of doing it. So
Đối nhảy luôn rồi.
I would guess that he's probably the most hungriest of the
Không an toàn gì hết.
to win this.
Cầm gậy nhảy luôn rồi.
And that sometimes like is the factor which decides in the end. Of course, the experience and the skills.
Nào, con một. À không sao, con cái nó chết rồi.
You can see again. Bit hasty.
Bàn tơi lắm rồi anh ơi.
Over aggressive.
Đi chấm nữa nè.
White ball scratches, and now it's easy. Or let's say to Hoang should be easy. Run out from here. It's never easy when you're nervous, but Hoang doesn't seem to be nervous. He's very calm, very collected.
Con 3 ra con 6 cần hơi chi tiết một xíu thôi.
That also intimidates
Còn nói chung là tơi lắm rồi.
some opponents when they sort of feel that this guy doesn't have nerves.
Ok rồi đấy. Má này là ok rồi đấy anh em ạ.
I'm sure there is nerves also, but they just in their culture they are more taught, more learned to keep them intact. And one thing what helps is that you don't show it too much outside. You don't express
Cơ hội để lên
emotions
điểm đây
too
rồi chứ
much,
còn
then
đâu.
you have like it's easier to keep them intact. And for example, the snooker world champion or 4-time world champion John Higgins, who just yesterday won a 13-12, his second round match in the current world snooker championships. When he won it last time, I think it was the last time, which is already like close to 15 years ago, maybe 14 years ago or something like that. He said that his key to success, his sort of best weapon was he said deadpan expression, meaning that he doesn't show, he has this sort of satisfied smile at times. If he misses or if he's unlucky, he doesn't bang his cue or show frustration much at all, but he sort of laughs it off or smiles it off. But otherwise he just keeps a straight face, which helps him to keep the straight focus, and that helped him to win one of the most demanding, one of the most nerve and pressure handle demanding tournaments in the world.
Ok, ngọt sớt luôn
Nice
rồi.
recovery shot with the 8 ball. It was close to be too thin, but went
6-4.
an easy 9 ball. My Vietnamese friend here had a slight extra pre-it when the 8 ball was close to be missed.
Như vậy là anh Hoàng vừa giành chiến thắng trong rack đấu mà Elliott Sanderson giành quyền phá, và lần đầu tiên trong trận đấu này thì anh Hoàng đã gia tăng cách biệt với cả Sanderson lên thành 2 ván, và ở rack thi đấu này thì anh Hoàng sẽ là người đề pa. Về lý thuyết thì ở trong những trận mà phá luân phiên thì những cú phá, những ván đấu mà một cơ thủ giành được quyền phá là những ván đấu rất quan trọng, và anh Hoàng hãy hy vọng là anh Hoàng làm tốt trong các ván thi đấu mà anh Hoàng được phá, đồng thời là sẽ đợi chờ những sai sót của Sanderson để có thể giành được chiến thắng trong trận đấu ngày hôm nay.
Yeah, Vietnam is definitely in my bucket list too. Would be great to. I love Philippines. I love Taiwan very much. Now when the Vietnam has those Hanoi Open and there was some other tournaments also. I think Carlo Biado won one tournament. Probably Francisco Sanchez Ruiz won the Hanoi Open last year, the end of the last year. So I have been following, and I have been very delighted to see that there is so much fans and so much pool action. And it would be great to make a trip, for example, if the Reyes Cup is in the Philippines. So probably play the Hanoi Open if there is 2 or 3 other opens there, and then also visit Philippines. It's a pity that Taiwan doesn't have now tournaments, because that's really one of my favorite places to be anyway, but of course billiard wise. But now it's nice to see that Vietnam has risen like this also to the top of the world as a billiard player in Hoang and others, but also like as the number of fans and billiard enthusiasts. Martian Duong Quoc Hoang plays a very nice safety. He locks the white ball with the 8, and the 9 ball is
Quả này trọng tài không ra
is
kiểm
it
tra.
distracting. Okay, it wasn't distracting too much. It was distracting maybe a little bit of the angle, but Elliott was able to hit it.
Ok
It's
rồi
a
đấy.
bit unfortunate it is quite unfortunate with the outcome. Of course, many things could have happened. He didn't scratch or anything, but how he left the tree. White ball is in the cushion, but should not matter too much. It did matter a bit. Hoang is not able to play a position for the 4, so
Nào, còn 4 con dính nữa.
safety shot coming. Plays it thinly, tries to hide it behind the 6, but now it's a bit misjudged.
Mạnh nhưng không sao.
And actually this 4 ball is on. This was not a good shot from Hoang, because if he would
Còn
have
4
played
này
a
khó
little
nhé.
bit too slow, then the 4 ball would have still be more difficult. Now when the white ball went from the left side of the 6, this is a doable shot for Elliott. I don't know if he has a background in snooker or British pool, but those guys are sharp as nails, so pocketing these shots shouldn't be too difficult, but bit hastiness here. He didn't have to play it with the inside spin. He missed it from the professional side, meaning that the 4 ball went to the end cushion, but it wasn't close. This is the stage now that Elliott should really use everything he has on every shot, because now if Hoang wins 2-3 racks from here, it's most likely gonna be too late for any comebacks. Well, he did get a chance. He has a tricky white ball with the 5. He's drawing it quite nicely. Has still an angle to deal with the 5. Probably has to go around the 6. Not 100% sure if he's able to kill the ball. First impression was that not able to kill the white ball, and from here it looks even worse. He probably has to go around, yeah. Plays it okay. He's a left-hander, so he reaches this well and plays around the 8 now, and the angle towards the 7 should be good. Should be okay. This was very good shot. He didn't want to leave more angle because now he doesn't have to go 2 rails. He can just come back to the center of the, or towards the center of the table. Okay, he followed. I don't know if those shots are good because he has already rattled a couple of balls. Now he did make it and he played the white ball quite nicely, but why to risk it with that kind of a hard follow shot when it was not mandatory? That was a
Đây
bit
rồi.
slow.
Cơ hội đây rồi anh em ơi.
Hoang just recently made a similar 8 ball to the same pocket. Played it a little bit too thin, but it just, or not too thin, but just
Khó lại không cẩn thận chết
enough
cái nữa này.
thick. And Elliott is
Ui,
playing it from the
vẫn
thick
ăn gian
side
được
and
kìa.
making it nicely for 5-6.
Không sao. 5-6. Giờ đến lần mình phá mà.
Alo. Thì tỷ số hiện tại bây giờ đang là 6-5 dành cho anh Hoàng. Và ván thi đấu tiếp theo thì Elliott Sanderson sẽ là người có quyền đề pa. Hiện tại thì anh Hoàng đã gọi timeout để có một chút thời gian cho bản thân. Và hiện tại thì có lẽ là mình sẽ dành thời gian để mà trả lời một số câu hỏi một số câu hỏi mọi người đã dành cho mình cũng như dành cho bình luận viên trong những phút vừa qua, nhưng mà mình chưa kịp trả lời. Thì mình không phải là trong team của anh Hoàng đến Phần Lan để tham dự giải đấu nhé. Mình là một du học sinh đang ở Phần Lan và mình chỉ lên thủ đô Helsinki để xem để xem anh Hoàng thi đấu thôi. Và rất may mắn là khi mà những người trong ban tổ chức hỏi là mình có nói tiếng Việt không, và nếu mà mình nói được thì hãy vào trong phòng bình luận viên để có thể hỗ trợ cho bình luận viên người Phần. Thì đấy là lý do vì sao mà mình đang ở đây và mình đang cùng theo dõi trực tiếp với các bạn. Và một điều rất đặc biệt là tuy là bình luận viên nhưng mà mình lại ở gần như là rất gần anh Hoàng, cho nên là nếu mọi người có những lời gì mà muốn nhắn nhủ trực tiếp đến anh Hoàng thì có thể nói lên khung chat, và hy vọng là anh Hoàng sẽ chiến thắng trận đấu này để mình có thể được chuyển những lời của mọi người dành cho trực tiếp đến cho anh Hoàng luôn. So for the non-Vietnamese in the chat here, so basically I'm just an audience, a member of an audience for the match, and the commentator asked if I speak Vietnamese, and if I do, can I come in to have some words in Vietnamese to the fellow Vietnam fans who are attending the chat here. So that's why I'm here. And I can also speak English, and I can also comment on the match in English. So if you want, you can just request. But obviously, I'm not a professional commentator, so I would let the real commentator here to help me with all the professional term. Mostly, I'm just here to be able to talk and to translate Vietnamese from the Vietnamese audience to him.
Yeah, we are international channel, mostly in Finnish, try to keep up with the English, and when we have a chance, we try to please all the fans around the world. So we are happy, very happy to see how many Vietnamese are here. So that's why we are happy to get the Vietnamese friend to give some feedback and some help with translations in Vietnamese language. How do you call, is Vietnamese language, is it called Vietnamese or is it called, yeah. Because like Filipino, they speak, it's called Tagalog, so sometimes it's so there is some safety going on. Elliott jumping, it's a quite long jump, but he's able to, once again, just like the previous jump, he scratches. Of course, it's also a bit unfortunate, he could have just, be lucky and get the white ball to the end rail behind the 7. But that's how it is also, you have to be sharp, you shouldn't leave it up to the luck. It was unlucky to scratch, but he was not able to stop the white, so it was his mistake to let the white ball loose like that.
Ok anh em. Con 3 này thì chắc là đẩy lên, đánh 4 nỗ tít bên phải. 5 thì cùng lỗ rồi. Đánh 5 cùng lỗ xong rồi dựng
Hoang playing
cái
some very
lên là
good
đẹp.
cue ball here. The pattern play which I mentioned earlier is excellent with him. I saw him practicing upstairs, he was very disciplined. Instead of just, banging them balls and, chatting with someone, he was actually making drills. Seems a very nice guy. He didn't speak English well, but the small, brief encounter what I had with him, he seemed to be very, very genuine, nice guy. I will foresee a great future also with him.
Quả này cho anh
How
Hoàng
old
kéo
is
về
Hoang?
đánh 9 nỗ 10 rồi.
I don't know.
I think Hoang is about 36 years old.
Okay, so he's not young anymore, meaning that he's in his he's not like 29 or something. So, but of course, players, if their eyesight is good or if they have surgery with the eyes and they live healthily, their nerves are good, they can play well up to quite old. Efren Reyes won major tournaments when he was 52, and he won a major one-pocket tournament in Derby City when he was 60 years old. That year he was 60. It was in the beginning of the year, so he was like 59 and something, but it is possible if you have your nerves like in good shape, your eyes, your physique. Also Ralf Suke, just I told how well he played against me, and he's I think 57, 58 this year. I think 57. I think he's born 68 end of the year.
Có một số bạn hỏi là trận và các trận tiếp theo thì sẽ thi đấu mấy giờ, thì và tỷ số hiện tại của những trận đang diễn ra là bao nhiêu. Thì ngoài trận anh Duong Quoc Hoang nó đang đánh với Sanderson có tỷ số là 7-5, thì Petri Markkonen, tay cơ nước chủ nhà, và Niels Fajan cũng đang thi đấu, và hiện tại Markkonen đã lên hưu. Cặp trận tiếp theo tứ kết sẽ là cặp trận của Gerardo Cachi và Suto Komino, cũng như là Mark Bilsterbosch và David Aikade. Kết quả và loạt trận bán kết, nếu anh Hoàng lọt được vào bán kết thì mình sẽ đánh vào lúc 7 giờ tối giờ Việt Nam tối nay các bạn nhé. Và hôm nay là sẽ đánh thẳng đến chung kết luôn.
There was a question about the times. So the second matches, which are also these quarterfinals, Cledio Caci against Jonas Souto Comino, they should start in 45 minutes, but that is if these matches are finished on time. So in 45 minutes that will be, or 43 minutes, that will be 1 o'clock in Finland. And how much is the time difference between Vietnam? 4. Okay, so it's only 4 hours more, so that means 1 o'clock here means then 5 o'clock in Vietnam. And then the semifinals will be 2 hours after that, but of course there is always a chance that they might little bit fall late if some of the matches are lasting longer. But there is also a shot clock now, so none of the matches should really take too much time. But if it goes hill, if it goes 10-9, of course, then and there's lots of safety battles, then it might take a bit longer. Elliott aiming for a combination. For me it seems that the 8-ball is a little bit distracting, and I am actually a bit surprised he went for the combination. I wish Elliott lots of success. He's a
Ghép không
player
chết
and a
9 lại
very
ra
nice
tình
guy.
huống này.
Got to add that he's a bit hasty with these.
4 thì xử lý được, nhưng con 5 kia thì lại khó. Con 5 kia anh Hoàng sẽ tính đập 2 băng dài đi vào cái khe hẹp bên phải kia để con 5 nó tít. Khó phết đấy.
Maybe goes to Vietnam or Philippines to practice for a few months. He will learn some of the essentials. But the mistake now also from Hoang
Ra thủ không?
might also have something to do with the shot
Không
clock,
sao.
because
Vẫn khó.
not saying that Hoang is a slow player. He's playing with a very nice rhythm when the balls are open, but when there's a difficult situation, he might need a little bit more time than what the
Chủ yếu chỗ con 5, con 8 kia thôi.
So that shot was a bit uncharacteristically hasty also from Hoang. Okay, there we see a very nice shot from Elliott.
Chân luôn này.
We could say if he runs out from here that it was a winner.
Hay quá.
It was not easy pot, and it was definitely not an easy cue ball. Cue ball was on the rail. There was a long distance, lots of angle. The angle was of course ideal for the position, but to play it with the correct speed was not that easy. And of course the pocketing itself was the best part of it. 7-ball is tight with the 9. He probably has to follow. The 8-ball is not going well to the middle, so playing it too
Hy vọng đối lỗi quả này đi.
Okay, he's
Ra con
drawing. He's
8
able
xấu
to
nhất có thể
draw.
nè.
Okay, that was from the 9. It was
Không.
coming up easily. It was a good shot. Bit straight on the black 8, but probably stuns it from one cushion to the middle of the table. That's how it done. Okay, so Sanderson very much back in the game. 6-7, and if I recall correctly, he's breaking the next. Could be also other way around, but
Tỷ
anyway,
số là
6-7
6-7
is a
cho
different
Elliott.
game again than
Elliott lên
5-8
6.
would have been. There was a question about the shot clock. I would guess, it's a enlightened guess, as to say that Matchroom always has 30-second shot clock, so I doubt that they would have changed it. Yeah, Petri Makkonen most likely played excellent on the main TV table as he won Niels Feyen 10-3. Petri has actually demolished pretty much all of his opponents, if I have been able to follow properly. Well, with Mark Maggi yesterday it was 10-7, so that was a bit tighter, but at least the Finnish well-established junior player Juho
Đối lại
Teittinen,
phá lỗi tiếp đi nào.
he beat
Không
twice
chết bi nào.
quite handily.
Một. Con 2, con 2.
So
Con
actually
2 chém được.
quite old players here. If you see that, well, Gledio Kachi
Ba
is
con đường
probably
riêng nốt 10
very
á.
young. He might be just like 21 or something like that.
Cái này con đường riêng nốt 10 bên
I
trái.
don't know exactly how old is Jonas Soto Komino. He's one of the younger players, but I would guess that he's something 28-ish. Elliott Sanderson, I would guess same, maybe 25, 26, something like that. These are just guesses. But Niels is already 47 or so this year.
Kiểu này lắc này.
And
Lắc
David
con 2
Algard
cửa
is
lỗ này.
also 47
Không lắc luôn.
this year. And even though I still consider Petri Makkonen as young, he's actually already now, he's 1 year younger than Hoang, so he's born 88, meaning that he will be 37 this year. So not so many junior players now in the finals. I don't know Gledio's age, but he's the only one who could be considered.
Giờ chỉ hy vọng mà đối bắn lỗi thôi. Thì bi tới lắm rồi anh em ạ.
Player. Okay. Yeah, okay. Could be that Gledio is less than 20 also. I haven't checked it properly, but Mark Bisterbosch is he
Bắn
also
lỗi thì ở
like,
đây nhìn rất khó để lỗi được con nào.
I remember him from like 12, 13 years past, so he must be around 30 nowadays. I remember him as a junior player, but that's like 13 years ago. Elliott getting into gear, he has a very good chance of leveling things up. Just like I said that he has hunger, you can see from his face that he didn't come here to forfeit the matches. He battles it out. Bit hasty at times, but for sure there for the win. And when he catches his gear, his cue ball follows nicely his mind.
Đều mất rồi.
7-7, we have a match
Không
here.
sao. Tiếp theo là anh Hoàng phá. Cơ hội vẫn trong tay mình.
JK, if you're asking me, my nationality is Finnish. I am local. I I was going to say I live in this club, but I live nearby, 10 minutes by car, and sometimes I live in this club. I have been here most of my free time for 4 years, about 4 or 5 years. Or the club as it's at the moment is like 1.5 years old. But there was a private club, meaning that on invitation only club was before in the same place. So what we are seeing now, where the referee is racking, there used to be a diamond table in this spot, and that's my home table. If the camera would get a little bit higher, which is now, you could see that there's lots of trophies also from my past.
Somebody was asking you about the size because they think it's a little bit bigger than
Yeah, I actually don't know factual size. I don't know what Predator says. Is it 4.3 or something? But I would say that now when the cloth is new, it's a bit forgiving. But when the
Chúng ta cũng xem cú phá của anh
when the
Hoàng nào.
cloth gets a little bit older, these are not forgiving. Especially when you shoot hard, the pockets don't
Còn
take
hai
too
cửa lỗ rồi.
easily. They are more difficult, definitely, than ordinary diamond tables. But
2v3 được.
yes, with the new cloth, they are a bit easier. I mean, definitely easier than the current
Chắc không vấn đề gì đâu anh em nhỉ.
4-inch diamond tables. But the ordinary diamond table, which is something like 4.4,
Con này chắc điều 3 đánh độ xa
is
thôi.
easier than this for sure. I have in another place where I played some tournaments, there is a diamond with 4.25, 4 and 1/4 inch
Còn con 3 là
pockets,
cần chi tiết kìa.
and
Vì còn về
that
4 đấy.
table and this table are quite close, but I would say this is a little bit wider. So close to 4.3 is my guess. Can you hear us
Má
now?
này đẩy lên à.
Yeah, I'm trying to follow a little bit, monitor what it says about my sound. So Hoang is a bit straight now with the tree, so he has some work to do here. He gets up
Má này khó nhá. Để xem anh Hoàng tính thế nào.
for a reason. Doesn't want to blunder this. He might draw behind the 7. Oh, he follows between.
Ok.
Very
Đúng
good
được qua cái
angle,
khe
but will the
69
speed?
rồi. Cái lên
It
giữa
seems that
bàn.
the speed
Đẹp
is
rồi.
there.
Đẹp nhất rồi anh em ơi.
Just able to see the 4. He should be able to
Tắt
see
cái
the
cam này
4.
đi.
Probably just stops it. Plays the 5 on the side.
5 chắc nỗ 10.
Very nicely played.
Cái kéo nhẹ
Once
về
again,
thôi.
what I said earlier,
đánh
now he
6.
had to force follow,
Đánh
but
6.
he didn't play with the side spin. He just forced the follow and played it with the perfect angle and perfect judgment, and was able to come between the narrow 6 and 9 gap to the 4. That was a very nice shot. Plays this one very good also. When
Ok
he's
rồi đấy anh
trading
em ạ.
or almost trading
Đến
with
đây
the
là
7,
không còn gì rồi.
he has the best position for playing the right angle on the 8. He doesn't have to go to the cushion. He doesn't have to go around the angles. He just stops it or a little bit follows, little stun follow to the right angle with the 8, and now he's perfectly on the
Ok
9.
87. Tiếp theo đối phá lỗi đi nào. Cái giai đoạn này là cần cẩn thận này.
Feldman 888 suggests that these are 4.25. I would say that That's very close. Yeah. Could be that that's the official what they give from Predator, but I haven't googled it now. So in the semifinals of the winner of this match will play Petri Makkonen from Finland. That will be exciting game because Petri has been playing very good and he obviously is very hungry to win in front of the Finnish audience.
Trước khi đến với ván đấu tiếp theo thì mình cũng có một số lưu ý với những bạn Việt Nam đang trên khung chat là mình rất cảm ơn vì đã thấy sự ủng hộ nhiệt tình của các bạn. Tuy nhiên thì mình cũng hy vọng là các bạn hãy bình luận một cách thật văn minh và thật tích cực dành cho anh Hoàng. Bởi vì đôi lúc thì bình luận viên người phần cũng sẽ yêu cầu là cũng sẽ nhờ mình là dịch lại một số bình luận để mà bình luận viên có thể đọc và hiểu được. Và mình sẽ rất không vui nếu như mình phải đọc hoặc là dịch những bình luận mà mang tính tiêu cực. Cho nên là mong mọi người hãy giữ cho khung chat thật văn minh nhất có thể và giúp cho lan tỏa hình ảnh đẹp đẽ của người Việt Nam. Và như là một bảo chứng cho lời mình vừa nói thì Sanderson đã phá trước cái. Và bây giờ quyền đặt bi và dọn bàn là bàn đã trống không rồi, là cho anh Hoàng.
There was a very unlucky scratch from
Hy vọng bắn
Elliott
lỗi phát là
Sanderson.
bắn lỗi luôn rồi.
Played
Elliott bắn
3
lỗi rồi.
balls in,
Cơ hội anh Hoàng lên điểm đây rồi.
got unfortunate
Nên ván hưu là
collision with
khó đấy.
the balls,
Khó với đối đấy.
scratch on the
Cơ hội
top
đây rồi.
right. Maybe a bit, if you can a little bit give feedback, maybe once again the adrenaline took a little bit over. It was hard break or harder than
Cố lên này.
most of the breaks, and then he also gives more chances for the scratch. So in this current matchroom break format, you are always vulnerable for bad luck with the
Mà này thì 3 băng với
break
6.
as there most likely will be collisions with the balls anyway, no matter how well you break. But when you break hard like that, you give it more chances. So even though it was unlucky
Ok rồi đấy.
and unfortunate for
Mình chỉ sợ nó
Elliott
sát con 6 thôi.
Sanderson,
Ra đến đây là ok rồi này.
created that chance for it himself. JK, I have traveled around a bit and I've been married with a foreigner and I've spoken English with her, so I don't know if my English is a bit different sounding than most likely a bit different sounding than Finns and maybe then with different than North
Ui.
Americans also.
Quấy mình chỉ hy vọng anh Hoàng kéo về thôi.
What happened there?
Nhìn cái đường dựng lên nó dễ va chín thế.
Very
Cân.
surprising positional error from
Vừa
Hoang.
cân vừa
Now
thủ
he
sau 9.
needs those zen nerves to recover. And that
Ui dồi ôi. Làm
perfect
gì chứ đơn
position
giản.
for the nine.
Điều kìa.
This is what
Điều ra con
practice
9 kìa.
does.
Ngon luôn, đẹp luôn,
All
trời ơi.
practice does. Great
Không còn gì để nói.
shot with the 8.
Hai là hai luôn.
So of course you can little bit speculate that the mistake with the
Anh tự tạo tình huống, anh tự giải.
position from
Hay.
6 to 8 was quite
Lên hưu rồi.
possible also, but when you are able to recover, of course you can say it doesn't matter, but in the long run it does matter because you're not able to recover.
Nào, hy vọng đây là cú phá cuối cùng của anh Hoàng nào. Chúng ta cùng hy vọng đây là cú phá cuối cùng của anh Hoàng.
Như vậy là anh Hoàng đã lên hưu trước và đặc biệt là trong ván đấu này thì anh Hoàng sẽ là người giành quyền phá. Và một chấm run out nữa thôi là cầu thủ người Việt Nam của chúng ta sẽ vào bán kết. Vậy nên là để cổ vũ anh Hoàng trong rack thi đấu, hy vọng là cuối cùng của trận đấu này thì mọi người hãy chat lên khung chat 2 chữ Việt Nam và 2 chữ vô địch để cho tất cả mọi người thấy tinh thần của người Việt Nam chúng mình.
Yes, Jeff Trode. Definitely with those banks he should travel to Kentucky to hustle some money. or at least to Derby City, but he might have even been in Derby City already. I don't know how much he travels. I know he travels a lot, but I don't know if he has went to Derby City yet. Could be. I would actually maybe, like in some corner of my mind, I think I might have seen him in Derby City at least, but I'm not 100%
Nào, con
sure
hai,
of
con hai.
that. This break wasn't that good either. He stayed too low. He
Anh
didn't
Hoàng
get
chắc
the
đẩy nhẹ lên, đánh an toàn đẩy nhẹ lên
draw.
cho đối vào.
He didn't get the
Đối
cue
nhường
to
thì anh Hoàng
draw
nhảy.
enough to get back to the center of the table.
Theo cách anh Hoàng hay đánh sẽ là như thế, sẽ là đẩy nhẹ lên.
Hooking behind the nine was rather self-caused problem also here. Of course, he could have, with some fortune, been able to avoid that.
Không, lần này anh đẩy xuống
But here we are, and
cho đối
good
chém.
news for Elliott is that at least he gets back to the table.
Đo đường cân. Nào con
Elliott
cái.
goes for the save,
Đừng đuôi, đừng đuôi.
but that's
Ok.
not a good safety. He's a bit lucky with the 9 and 4.
Nhưng con này
He
vẫn
reached
khó nhỉ, con này về
straight
4 vẫn
on
khó này.
two, which itself wouldn't cause problems for Hoang, I would assume at least. But what causes problems for
Đẩy
Hoang
lên thì
is
lại sợ
that
va
he
lăm.
doesn't have an angle now. He can only
Kéo về thì
draw,
lại sợ không nhìn được mặt 4.
and
Để
the
xem anh
four
Hoàng tính
is
thế nào.
stuck. Not completely stuck. It would be playable with the bank or with the 8-ball combination to the right, but he's not able to get there. He's not able to get to the bank either, which of
Anh
course
Hoàng định để con
it's
cái nó
significant
dừng
risk.
lại ngay gần đấy luôn.
So he has
Rồi thủ con 4.
he doesn't have a easy
Chấp nhận đánh 4 đường xa rồi.
options here.
Khả năng là như thế.
He might be stopping. Okay, he went for a safety.
Không, anh quyết định
Or
thủ
he
luôn.
might have actually played the bank, cross bank, but just missed it a bit. The white ball
Có
is
nhìn được mặt con
excellent,
hai không?
and
Đối này gậy nhảy rồi.
the little luck, he was able to have the 2-ball not going by the pocket, so Elliott is in troubles here.
Đây gậy nhảy hay ai băng?
He's not his favorite to hit this though. Jump is difficult because it's on the cushion. Cue ball is by the cushion, and the 7-ball is rather with distance, but he is able to jump. There is a one-rail kick which he opted,
Ui,
and
hay.
he played it, let's
Lại
say,
chết
half
hai nữa thì đẹp.
perfectly. The white ball is perfect,
Chết hai nữa thì đẹp.
but
Ui
the
giời,
speed is not.
không sao, vẫn đẹp.
And
Vẫn đẹp
the
anh em ơi.
ball goes back to the same end.
Với đối hay đấy chứ. Giữ được con cái sau con 5
So
kia.
there's an angle, but there is not the route. He's not able to draw because of the
Mà
5.
đen cái là con 2 nó lại về cho
Probably
con
has a
cái nó nhìn
left
thấy.
side open, so he can spin it
Nào.
with the left. But he has to now leave either the bank or a safety. Or will he go for a... He was checking, he might go with the... I'm a bit surprised if he plays the 8. Because the 8 is not in the center of the pocket. If the 8 ball would be on the other side of the pocket, he would probably go for it. Now I'm surprised if he does. He goes for the safety, which is the conservative option here. That's not ideal because it's easy to hit, and he can either hit it straight, play safety, or easy one-rail kick to get it safe. He saw the ball enough to play thick enough here.
Đùi rồi.
Now it's turn
Anh
for
Hoàng nhảy rồi.
Hoang to jump it.
Đối vào là đã nhảy con 4 phải về sau con 5.
It's a bit easier than the previous because it's a little bit out from the cushion, and the 4 ball is actually doable.
Hai này nào anh ơi.
He probably tries to pocket it.
Ván cuối 2 này nào.
Ball on the end of the table with the draw shot. Okay. That didn't go as
Ra đuôi không?
planned, or did it? I doubt he played there. He
Ra đuôi rồi.
lifts his hand. He lifts his hand.
Đội ôm đầu rồi.
Apologizing. Elliott shows a little bit emotions
Đội
here.
ôm đầu rồi.
I understand what he feels.
Xem giải quyết tình hình này như thế nào.
But luck is part of the game, so he has to cope
Định
with
A3
it.
băng này.
But it's true that Elliott has been a bit unfortunate with some outcomes.
Rồi,
Hits
tí
it.
chết 4 luôn kìa.
Will he get
Hay thế nhỉ?
fortunate? Well, at least half fortunate.
Quá hay.
The
Dính
white
rồi.
ball with the purple
Cái
four
dính rồi thì
are
bạn.
close, and they are not it's not pointing straight to the corner, so he's not going to attack this. I think he has a chance to attack it though. He
Khó
was
nhỉ.
looking at it
Sát
just,
này khó nhỉ.
previous time, but now he's looking to save. The safety is, of course, easier option, less risky definitely. Plays it
Ui.
very good actually.
Hay chưa kìa.
Four ball is snookered or hooked. Elliott has quite easy one rail kick. He might try to hit it full so white ball stays and four ball
Nào, phơi rồi.
goes up table, but
Nhưng chưa ăn được.
he double kisses it.
Con này chưa ăn
Now
được.
it's his time to get fortune. Except that the Martian Duong Quoc Hoang might have a tin cut, or he has a tin cut. He might be able
Và
to
cho
play
con 4
the
lên.
8.
Con cái ở loanh quanh chỗ đấy.
No, he's
Loanh quanh
drawing.
sau con 6.
Probably he's not trying to play the 8. He's playing safety, but I'm a bit
Không
surprised
được
of
mất rồi.
this because first of all, this safety is not good.
Không
There is
sao,
a
vẫn
chance
khó.
for Elliott.
Con 4 này vẫn
And
khó.
he, if
Mà
I have
ăn được
read him
4 thì ra
correctly,
5
and
cũng
he's
khó.
good with the carambol. If he has played like Vietnamese often play three cushion billiards, he should have maybe be able to play it 8. Even though I'm not saying it was easy, but he had a chance. So compared to the safety,
Đấy,
he
ăn được
played
4 ra 5 cũng khó.
been an option. Elliott,
Lại chơi cờ tiếp.
I would say not able to
Chơi
hold
cờ hay
his
cân luôn này.
nerves that well. He's bit on the verge. Like he's probably a bit desperate. He has been unfortunate with some shots. Opponent is on the hill, but there was a chance. And of course
Ok,
there still is.
chơi cờ tiếp.
As
Hay chưa kìa.
Duong is playing safe.
Đối đang đo đường con 9 chạy đấy.
I
A1 băng,
guess
4
I
va 9,
foresee
9 trên lỗ tít bên
Elliott
phải.
hitting
Đối
it
đang đo đường
hard
như thế.
and letting the 9 ball
À,
travel.
liệu làm được hay không?
Well, he hit it relatively
Không được
hard,
rồi.
but not as hard as I was expecting. But how he left the 4, I don't know if he tried
4
to
này
play
chơi
the
được rồi.
4 from the 9. Which
Nhìn
would
kỹ thôi.
actually
4 về
make
5 được,
sense, but
được luôn, đẹp luôn.
he was not able to
Đối ôm đầu rồi.
save, so little bit extra difficulty from the 9 balls, making the queuing more difficult, which might have affected the position for the white. Now it's a little bit more
Con này làm 2 băng với
bit
6 lỗ tít
nearer
bên
the
trái.
cushion what Hoang would have wished, but not frozen. So he's able to check up a bit, draw the cue ball for the 6, for the combination of
À, thẳng
6
quá.
and 8.
Thẳng quá thì
It was
anh
a very
Trô về
good
anh
shot
ghép
because
luôn
now when he's
6-8.
on this side,
Với mình tưởng con má.
he has easy task to control the 6 and white, except that now he has to use the rest, but shouldn't cause problems. Sure.
Còn 2 bi nữa thôi là anh Hoàng sẽ vào vòng bán kết và mình đang rất là hồi hộp để ngồi xem thôi cũng đã run cả tay rồi. Còn 1 bi nữa thôi và hy vọng là không hy vọng ở đâu, kiểu gì trở vào. Vâng, và anh Hoàng
Bán
vào
kết
bán
là
kết
7 giờ
thưa
nha
quý
anh
vị
em
và
nhé.
các bạn. Rất là tuyệt vời. Đối thủ của anh Hoàng trong bán kết sẽ là tay cơ người nước chủ nhà Makonnen.
Yes.
Lịch sẽ là 7 giờ tối nay nhé.
Vietnamese fans. Your hero is now in the semifinals. I cannot promise yet, but most likely
Tiếp
they will
theo
go to
sẽ là trận
semifinals
của
this table.
Kachi với
The opponent is
Solas
from
Soto
Finland.
và Mark
I
với
try to be
Akade,
unbiased.
hai
And
ông Tây Ban Nha.
see you later on the same channel. Of course, you can follow from different link. You can follow the other semifinal.
Hẹn anh em vào tối nay 7 giờ nhé.
The second part of the
Bye bye anh em.
quarterfinals you can follow soon, and then later on you can follow the semifinal